Prison will bring the worst out of you, though it does have the potential to bring the best out of you. And like I said way back in part one, I will continue to be honest and transparent, regardless to how you guys may see me, because my goal is to educate in hopes that people don't make the same mistakes or decisions that I made. Again, I hold myself accountable, and it's my story. I'm freeing myself now. One of the main things that I believe to this day continues to plague prison is the introduction of certain substances into the environment. I was in the system when Spice first hit, synthetic funny cabbage, if you will. And I remember the lure to it, or what was appealing about it, was that you could ingest it through inhaling it, the same way you did regular funny cabbage, except for when they called you down for a urine analysis, um, it would come up clean. You could pass, keep going. And not, for nothing, I was one of the first individuals that had access to it. Not saying I ushered it in no way, shape, or form, but when it hit the compound, I had the ability to buy things. And me and my cell partner, not gonna lie, we were intrigued. Somebody said, hey, it's the same thing as funny cabbage, but you won't pop dirty when they get you. We were in there. You're depressed. You want to escape reality. Yeah, I'm not drinking, but hey, man, legalize it everywhere. This is new. This is just that in a different form. In prison, you're blind. You don't know what the public perception of certain things is until you get home or somebody explains to you what's going on. And if you're indulging in certain things, sometimes you don't even care. And you're definitely not going to share it with your family over the phone. You don't want to get in trouble. So you'll never know exactly what the reality is that you're ingesting or using behind those walls until somebody tells you. Well, when it came to that, I remember the day me and my cell partner were going to try it. And man, I remember we rolled the smallest, teeniest, to ingest via inhaling. And by the time we were done, instantly, I mean, the first pull, I knew something was wrong. But because I'm in prison, my cell partner, my brother, he's doing it too. I'm like, man, we just in it gonna try this, and it's gonna be one and done. And let me tell you something. Don't ever use that stuff. Bottom line, that's what this is about. It's continuing to plague people in the system. Instantly, my legs felt like I had lost control of them, or they were inside of the floor. I can't really explain it. I had to lay down. When I laid down, I remember thinking to myself, it was like I was elevating so high that I was going to go crazy. I was losing my mind by the second. And I remember thinking to myself, literally, I started praying and just wishing that I could get to my mom, but knowing that we were on lockdown, my cell partner was, tripping out too. And I knew if I called the COs, we was going down. I had a phone on me. I had an ounce of some funny cabbage, give or take, you know what I'm saying? And it would have been really, really bad. I could have got rid of one, but not the other, because there's a trap in the toilets that will catch things if you try to flush them. And eventually, I don't know how, but I calmed myself down, and I got low enough that I was back feeling somewhat, or at least normal enough that I could kind of gain reality again and kind of make the right decisions, if that makes sense. I was conscious the whole way, but I felt myself losing control. Now I was coming back in control. The only issue was my cell partner continued to climb, and to the point that he became paranoid and was saying to me, bro, I need to call for the CO. I'm not going to make it. And I remember I was like, bro, we can't call the CO right now, because if they come, we're both going to jail. They're going to throw us in a hole. I got a phone on me. I can get rid of the other stuff, but not the phone. It's going to get caught in the trap. Even if I break it up, I already know. Boom. I'm just hoping he calms down. He starts pacing. Then he's like, bro, if I don't make it, tell my mom I love her. Just tell her, you know what I'm saying? Don't tell her what happened. He starts apologizing, and I could feel the fear, and bro, and I'm starting to get scared too, because I'm trying to balance, but now I'm thinking, are the police gonna come? Because at this point, my cell partner is 6'4", 250, big dude, and if he wanted to go bang on the door, not for nothing, he could. I might have tried to stop. I might have been able to slow him down, but let's be real. Eventually, I convinced him to get onto his bunk, and it's just gonna sound so crazy. I know he loved music to this day, so I played ASAP Rocky. And I guess the song or whatever, he started to focus on the music. It calmed him down. Mission success. I flushed that stuff immediately, man. Never wanted to see it again. But I had to speak on this part because, one, I'm ashamed of that. I would have, now, for what I know about it, I would have never tried it. But in prison, something new, a piece of the world, everybody, you're telling her, oh, everybody else does it, man. I can be normal, but, get through this time in a different way, mask my stress and my trauma by, being under the influence. That was going on. But man, to this day, and it started way back then, it's an epidemic. People are walking zombies in there. They are going from sane to not sane, from clean to unkept, to just, I don't know, tripping out, doing crazy things, attacking people. Just, it's really bad, y'all. Really, really bad. I don't know how that stopped. There's other substances that are causing issues behind those walls, but that's really bad. And I believe it kind of opened the door for a lot of the other bad stuff that's kind of catching trend in prisons now, which is so weird. So weird, y'all. And I can't say certain things. I gotta be mindful of language, but man, it's crazy. Again, I had to share that part of the story. It's not cool. And the risk just isn't worth it. And the mental health aspect, because that's really how it's impacting people. People are ingesting that stuff. Man, by the tens, 20s, hundreds of people behind those walls. It's probably state to state. And it's causing people to lose their minds and make their mental health even worse in a place where mental health is already being attacked. So yeah, that was my story about that. Thank y'all. More parts coming soon. Playlist is up at the top of the page.